Hello and welcome to Blyad Go Home video.
Down.
Here we're working on some sits and some downs. They are all verbal. When he sits, I reward to his mouth. When he lays down, I reward on the ground.
Down.
So there, I put him in a down and then I walked around him, and since I was walking behind him, he got up, but I said no. I put him into a down again, and then I tried it again walking the other way, and he did just fine. His release word for the down and the free and place is free. So he is supposed to stay in whatever position or command I put him into until I say the word free. And there he went into a sit, and then he went into a down without me asking for the down. So I grabbed him by the collar and I put him back into a sit, and he fixed himself. This is kind of a longer duration down, just showing that he can hold it down for a pretty significant amount of time. He's really good at his duration stays. And putting them into a down for a duration stay is a whole lot easier for them to hold than a sit, because they can break a sit very easily just by lifting their rear. And putting them into a sit, when they have to hold it, it uses their core muscles, so it's a little bit harder for them to hold for long periods of time. So here I'm just making sure that he can hold it for a while, and then I go back and reward on the floor. I did not free him, so I put him into a down position again. He got excited because I walked up and gave him treats, but that doesn't mean that he can get up. Very calmly reward him on the floor so that he doesn't feel the need to get up to follow me. And then I free him. This is his place command. He's very good at his place command. As you can see, I don't even think I put him on there or asked him to get on there, and he did by himself. But I walk up to the place bed, I gesture, I can stand quite a few feet away and gesture, and he understands what I'm asking him to do. Just as long as I say the word place. And then when I say the word place, he is not to step off of the bed until I release him with the word free. I do some distracting dances and jumping jacks. He doesn't break, which is amazing, so I pay him for his hard work with some treats on the bed. I continue being distracting. He continues looking annoyed at me, but he's holding the place command, so all is well. I dropped some treats on the ground. So the first time he did great, so I went back and I rewarded him, and then I made it a little more tempting, and I put some other treats on the ground. And he breaks to try to eat them. I grab him by the collar, lead him back to the place bed, remind him that he's on place. And then I pick up all the treats so that I can do it again. And hopefully he learned from that what he was supposed to do in that situation. So then I asked him to place, reward him on the bed for going to place. And then I try putting treats on the ground again. He does very well, so I reward him for his hard work. And then I do what I did before that made him break, is I got down on the ground with the treats, I put more treats on the ground, and then I toss treats at him so that he can have those that are on the bed. And then I throw some toys. He doesn't seem to care much for them. He's actually looking for food on the bed instead. And then I add some treats into the mix to see if he'll break for the treats and the toys. I add some duration. I reward him heavily for his hard work because it's pretty hard for a dog to not go for food on the ground or go for toys on the ground. So here's what we call puppy push-ups, which is down and then a sit, and then a down and then a sit. You can do any variation of it. You can have them go from a sit to a down, to a sit to a stand, to a sit to a down, to a stand to a sit, whatever you want them to do. But it kind of just gets them used to using their body in different ways and positioning themselves. And I only just barely started on it, so you'll have to use a piece of food right up near his nose to get him to sit from a down position, because that's a little hard for dogs to do usually. And here I'm just messing around a little bit, having him do some spins, because he, I think, would really enjoy some trick work. He would enjoy doing spins, and they all enjoy giving paw, and maybe waving and getting into some tricks that they could definitely do and get some views on TikTok. So I just started briefly on some tricks with him. This is a downstay where I walk to the door, out the door, show you that I'm outside, and then go back to him. As I approach, he does break to say hi. So I say no, I put him back into a down. And then I reward him once he's back in the down for about 30 seconds. I don't want to reward him right after he broke the command. Here's another shot of him in the down. I wanted to do it a couple times just to make sure that he understands that even when I come back, he can't break. He can't break no matter what, unless I say the word free. So he does amazing this time, so I pay him for his hard work.
Down, good boy.
I free him. So this time I'm putting him on the place bed instead of in a down. So he's to stay on the place bed while I open the door. I step outside, I close the door, I walk back in, and I reward him on the place bed. And then I free him. This time I have my roommate standing outside the door, so she's gonna knock as if she was a stranger. I'm gonna answer the door. She comes in, I give her a hug. Dogs really like to get in between hugs and jump on people while they're hugging. So having him on the place bed made sure that he was calm and collected while we hugged, and this stranger, quote unquote, came into the home, and he did not jump all over her to say hello. This is crate manners. His crate command is kennel. You can change it to crate if you want. You just open the door, gesture towards it, and say whatever word you're wanting it to be. Since it has such a strong physical presence, you don't necessarily need the same verbal cue that I used. So then he goes in, I toss him a treat, and then when he comes out, he's to wait until I give him his free word, and then he can come on out. And he's very good about going into his kennel. He did get significantly less barky in the kennel while he was here too. I come back, I open the door. He's not allowed out until I say free. And he's a very patient boy, so I give him a treat when he comes out. Here's controlled exit and entry of a doorway. Just using my front door. I ask him to sit, I open the door, he doesn't bolt out, and then his reward is getting to go out the door. We come in the door. I've already opened the storm door because it's very annoying because it opens towards us, and there's not very much room on the stairs, so I put him into a sit after I open the storm door. Here we are walking, he's absolutely amazing at walking. I was surprised. But he did absolutely wonderfully. Scrappy required more corrections than he did, which is odd because he's so much younger. You'd think the older one would be a little better at it. But he did amazing. He's a little bit reactive on the leash, meaning he responds to other dogs when he sees them or when he hears them. But with a gentle leash tug, he generally pays attention to me again and stops reacting at them. Here I'm walking both of the kiddos together. They both do amazing. I really didn't walk them together too much. I walked them separately just to make sure that they understood, what the task at hand was. And you'll see Scrappy gets more corrections, which are the leash tugs, because he's a bit more unfocused. But Blyad's very, very keen to pay attention to where I am, while also walking and enjoying that walk. Here I put them both into a sit with some leash pressure upwards. It's very hard to get them to verbally sit outside because they're very distracted. And we do have farm animals and other dogs and people and weird smells all over the place. So I use leash pressure to get them to sit. And then once they sit, I automatically release the leash pressure as the reward for sitting. And then we start walking again, and they're great. I speed it up a little bit. This house on the right has 4 outdoor dogs that always bark at us when we walk past. So I'm sharing the video. They start doing that. They both look over. You can see they're interested, but they don't do anything about it, which is absolutely what I'm looking for. I'd rather they focus on the walk with me than try to respond to the other dogs that are reacting and probably not saying nice things to them as we walk past their house. So I get them into another sit. Blyad offers the sit, which is amazing. And I have to use upwards leash pressure to get Scrappy into the sit. And we just kind of listen to the other guys yell at us. They're barking. But we're practicing calmness around distractions like that, like distracting dogs and distracting people. And getting them into obedience while they're focused on you, instead of the other dog or the distracting thing, is very important in making sure that they're not reactive. Here we're doing a controlled exit of the house with the 2 of them. This was amazing. And like I said before, I didn't do this with them both at the same time until like the last couple of days, to make sure that they really understood and were reliable and proficient at the things separately, and then added them together. So thank you very much for bringing me this smart young boy to work with. He did so well. You are welcome to bring him back to me anytime. I really loved working with him. Thank you so much.